Well, let's do this. Sup, YouTube, it's Bookface, and welcome to What Is This? I really like video games, and I'm also a huge fan of Coryxkenshin. So I was thinking back to some old video games I'd watched from them, and remembered a classic in the Coryxkenshin lineup, Ao Oni! I mean, obviously other people played the game, but this is the most iconic playthrough, I'm sure. No, I do not intend to back up that claim. I don't need to. Also, in case you didn't know, this is What Is This? Which means I'm going to be taking this thing and seeing what it could be from actual mythology, because my myth nose is sniffing. I don't know why I'm talking in this voice. I've been going through some old favorites of mine, and you know I was going to jump at the chance to make a video with Cory in mind. Hey Cory, how's it going? Big fan. You want to slice the like button? The research for this was, it was something. So now let's ask, what is Ao Oni? So the game is a classic RPG horror game. Our four main characters enter a spooky house, get separated, and then it's on. Being the RPG Maker horror game that it is, the puzzles and the jump scares are something else. That's not always a good thing. The game managed to leave you constantly wondering where the creature is and always manages to surprise you somehow, even if it should be really obvious. Just because, like, I know how triggers work in RPG Maker games, and I still don't know how some of them are set up. Fun fact, I actually wanted to make some RPG Maker games, but I don't have the patience for that, or the skill. In the end, you end up escaping, though not without several losses. We'll just put it at that. That being said, the danger isn't gone, it's just behind you now, and meant to be someone else's problem. Also, apparently there have been several sequels to the game and at least one movie, which I did not know that. That's on my watch list. So now to look at the information from the game and try to see what we can use to get a good guess as to what Ao Oni could be in actual mythology. So in the game, it haunted this specific mansion just outside of town, which could indicate that it's one specific creature known for haunting a specific mansion, or that it's some kind of creature that is known for living in houses. The housing market's crazy, especially if you have a giant blue face. The name translates pretty simply to blue demon, kind of. Oni doesn't technically mean demon, but generally is close enough. Oh, and obviously this thing is Japanese. I didn't say that directly, but I mean, Ao is blue and Oni is, well, Oni are Japanese. It's fine, I don't need to explain myself, you probably already guessed it. It was a humanoid figure that was significantly larger than the other characters, had a large head and a big deformed face. Most people act like this creature is like 90% head, but I just feel like it's important to point out that this is an RPG Maker game. That's kind of how all the characters are built. Like, that's the style. It might still be a large-headed creature, but I just feel like that's worth mentioning. It can take the form of different people and generally shift its form, so some kind of shapeshifter. And it may possibly have the ability to warp reality due to this one fourth wall-breaking jump scare, meaning this thing is probably something with a lot of power. I mean, it jump scared you in the menu. How do you do that? That's not allowed. There are multiple Ao Oni in the game, and there are various different forms of them, which probably means that there's some kind of species per se, but also that it's a species with some variations to it. Not all one clear unit. One of them looks like Among Us with bad teeth. Among Us! There are also 7 other forms aside from the main one, and the copies of the characters that show up in this one room. And the final cutscene ends with this thing charging open-mouthed at somebody, like it's about to swallow him whole. Also, it randomly has predator vision. Hey, did you say predator? Watch this video. That was my ankle. Did you hear that? Oh no, my ankles, they're broken. Cory, no! I did not break my ankle, I'm fine. So my first step was, obviously, looking for some yokai. So I went to yokai.com, a very good website I'd highly recommend. And I went to the yokai finder and searched from the detail that it was blue. And the first thing I found was Ao Bozu. And I thought, okay, good start. This has a few good details. This is a lot of good details. Wait, no, that can't be that easy. Wait, I have mixed feelings about this. So yeah, I got it on the first guess, and I don't know how to feel about that. These videos are mostly about the researching process, and the research process for this was just slam dunk, so I guess this is going to be a short video. Not much else I can say on it. Ao Bozu was a humanoid ogre-looking thing, which usually had one eye, but could have 2 eyes in certain circumstances. I wonder if they could be lopsided like this dude. Look at that face. Somebody used a warp tool in his face. They were usually the size of children, but there were some areas that saw them as giants. So far, every bit of info has contradicted itself immediately. It lived in uninhabited homes, which is also known as the Millennial Rental Agreement. It eats children who stay out too late. They're lethal in strength and speed. Unless, of course, it's up against the ankle breaker.
Alright, you ready for them juke skills? Ooh! Berries!
It has a strong connection to magic, which maybe that's shape-shifting magic? I don't know. In some areas, it was considered a god.
Phenomenal cosmic powers!
It takes a It takes a multitude of different forms with a number of different details. So that would explain the variations. And then here's the part that made me realize, I really did get it on the first try. Because it's one thing to have a lot of details in common, but most of them are pretty simple. But this specific detail made me quite sure, oh yeah, this is what we're dealing with. So there's a specific legend in Kagawa, which says that they would ask girls if they want to be hung. Pretty harsh. And unless they specifically say no, and instead, like, run away screaming, then that's exactly what it does. And,
What? Takeshi, no!
I think for this comparison, it's also worth pointing out that Takeshi is the character who gets so scared he runs away and can't even speak, which are the two things you're not supposed to do in this legend. I know it's implied through the game that it's a suicide thing, but it's just, I think it's very noteworthy. Ao Bozu is also related to various other priest-like yokai, which could also explain the various different forms. So, is that it? That's a bit underwhelming. Usually I have to research so much I get a migraine. So as a little bonus, I'll lay out a couple mini-theories, because I feel bad I didn't have more. There's a yokai called Nopera Bo, which was a faceless-looking dude that could take the form of other people, which could maybe explain how the friends got doubled as Oni when they died. There's Hyakume, which is just a giant sack of flesh and eyeballs, which is a pretty noteworthy variation from the Oni room. Heikigani, which is just a crab with a face-shaped shell, which kind of looks like this guy from the Oni room. Hitotsume Nudo, which was a giant humanoid with a similar description to Ao Bozu, could be the giant guy in the corner of the Oni room, who apparently is named officially Squatto. I might go into more depth in another video, probably just for Mr. Among Us, but if you want to see my real descent into madness trying to figure out what all these background Oni are with literally just being able to look at them, then press the like button, I guess. Yeah, that's all I got. If you like this video, slice it. Slice, subscribe, slice the other thing, slice some cheese, give yourself a little snack, it's good. I like cheese. And I'll see you next time. Bye!